For the macaco, we're going to start practicing from the crab position, but ultimately you want to be comfortable and stable in the bridge position as well. This is important because when you compare the two, you'll notice that your shoulders are more open in the bridge and closed in the crab pose. And we'll go into more detail in a moment, but for now we're going to start with the crab. But instead of both hands behind us, we're using one, and as we lift our hips up, we're extending the opposite arm, following that hand with my eyes and maintaining stability through that arm. Make sure you practice both sides, getting comfortable with that extension and that reach. Now here's where the bridge becomes important. If you plant your hand like the crab pose, you won't be able to do the macaco. You could injure your shoulder. So practice turning your hand outward as you plant it behind you. And as you drive your hips, you can turn your chest towards the sky and open that armpit and shoulder, bringing you closer to that bridge position. The reason why this matters so much is because as you macaco, that hand doesn't move the entire time. So once you're familiar with turning your hand outward and planting it behind you, think of your hand as the center point, and you gotta drive all your momentum up and over past the center point. So practice those macaco reaches, bringing your left hand over your left shoulder and right hand over your right shoulder. And eventually, as you go into your macaco reach, you want to bring that live hand all the way to the ground. And then switch sides. And going from that reach and slowly turning to plant that hand on the ground and coming back. Now, if you're already trying to jump up and leap into your macaco, you might be missing an important piece. So we're going to fix that by use of a cartwheel. From that squatting position, the live hand is going to come over to the side, directing the momentum over our shoulder. And as I do this, I'm turning to spot where I'm going to plant my hand. And by guiding my momentum around the side, I follow through into a cartwheel. And once the cartwheel starts to feel easy, start driving the hips up with more extension, getting more vertical over your hands. Now to adjust coming out like a cartwheel to finish coming out more like a handstand, nice and straight. From that squat, we're no longer bringing our arm over the shoulder. We're now going to go straight into those macaco reaches. But remember, that hand placement is the center point and everything needs to go over it. So start by following your hand with your eyes as you drive your hips and maintain stability through that arm and center point. Your momentum comes from the reach of the hand, the thrust of your hips, and the power from your jump. All working together, carrying the momentum over that hand. Notice how that hip extension plays a vital role in following through. Remember to mind your hand placement and follow through hand, hand, foot, foot. And that's how we do the macaco. Thank you for moving with Mendoza.